Hi, coaches. Welcome back to Courtside with Mental Training Plan. I'm Ben Carnes, owner of Mental Training Plan. Super excited as you guys get ready for the playoffs to give you one of my favorite tools that we did. It was something that each year heading into the playoffs, it didn't matter if we had a team that, maybe the season was dragging a little bit. And the question was, how do we get these guys amped up and ready to make a run here? Or if it was, we don't ever want this season to end. How do we get the most out of this? How do we make sure that we're prepared at our best come that state championship time? This was my favorite year after year activity that we did. So step one was figure out how you're going to divide up your team, whether that's by position group, whether that's by grade, whether that's by role, whatever that looks like. Get them into smaller groups because let's be honest, the seniors and the varsity starters aren't trying to accomplish the same things as your freshmen or guys on the JV team that, they know they're not going to be in the game. We need everybody to feel like this has purpose and I can become a better basketball player over the next however many weeks you've got left. Step two, let's figure out 2 to 4 things that really need to improve. And, maybe it's measurable. It comes straight off a stat sheet. Our free throw percentage isn't good enough, or, our threes aren't good enough. Maybe it's a little more situational, like, coming down the stretch in the last 2 minutes, our free throw percentage isn't good enough. Maybe it's physical. We need to be in better shape. We need better rest and recovery. Maybe it's, mental or on the leadership side or the character side. Do we need better communication? Do we need better leadership? Maybe the coaches are holding people accountable, but do we need to have other people and players step up and start to hold each other accountable? And I think the question that we put out in front of them is to be at our absolute best 4 weeks from now. What needs to improve? And for your varsity athletes, that's going to maybe look different than what it does for your freshman athletes. But one of the things that we talked about was like, guys, look, if we go on a run year after year after year, by the time you're a senior, you're getting like an entire extra half season of practice in. So let's not waste these reps. Let's not waste this opportunity. Let's use this as an opportunity to get better. Once we know what we're trying to improve, we got to come up with an action plan. How are we going to improve this? Let's set some SMART goals. What specific measurable things are we going to do? And maybe it's, we've got time and we can build this into the practice plan. Maybe we don't have time to address some of these things and they need to happen before practice or after practice. We're going to ask guys to put in a little bit of extra time. Step 4, we want to make sure there's some accountability. So there were some times that we created poster boards. I've been on teams where we made like a slide deck and each position, created their own slide of what they were going to be doing. But we want the other players and the other coaches to know, hey, here's what we're going to be working on. Here's what we're committing to. Maybe we're going to have, a checklist and each day hanging up in somebody's locker, we're going to put a check. If we improve this and we work on this and we get these extra free throws in, we get a check. Otherwise, we're putting an X. Come up with a system that works best for you, your players, and figure out how you're going to hold yourselves accountable. And then step 5, what weekly updates or adjustments need to be made? Sometimes there won't be any adjustments. Other times, maybe, playing a little bit better competition exposes some things on film that we realize, hey, maybe we need to work on this, or maybe putting in some extra time for a couple weeks, you see improvement in an area. Well, don't just quit. Like, let's come up with a new goal. What's that next step look like? The goal is to just keep getting better every week. We want to be peaking at the right time, playing at our best when it matters the most. This was one of my favorite ways to make sure that our team wasn't just surviving the postseason, but that we were really trying to improve all the way to the end so that we could reach that top peak performance or full potential that we were really capable of. If you've got questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can head on over to mentaltrainingplan.com. There's a contact us box down at the bottom. And as always, till next time, make your plan and put it to work.